the one, the only, Beitzah. Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, Iyun. Today we did Masechas Beitzah, Perek Gimel. Mishnah is based in Gimel. I want to talk Mishnah Beis. Mishnah Beis talks about the concept of Safek Muchan. Right? You set up traps for your fish that you wanted to come into your traps, and you don't know if they came into your trap before Yontif. In which case you had das for them, you had knowledge about it, and you prepared it mentally, which in Hilchos Shabbos works mentally, according to some opinions. You don't know. Safek Muchan. You're not allowed to eat it on Yontif. The Tana Kama says. Gamliel argues, he says Safek Muchan is mutter. We pass on the Tana Kama, it's not mutter. Now, why not? Safek Muchan is derabanan over here, right? Muksa is derabanan. Why don't we allow it? Right? Even in the Mefarsh, even to metaltal, even to move it, which is derabanan. Achilas muksa we mentioned might be daraisa. Safek daraisa l'chumra, but tiltal is derabanan. So I think it's important to distinguish between Shabbos and Yontiv over here. But Yontiv, there are the Masechas Beitzah notes that in some instances we're more machmir by muksa on Yontiv, and that's actually what the Gemara says explicitly on that Beitzah and Beitzah Masechas Beitzah, that we paskin, even though by muksa we paskin like Reb Shimon on Shabbos, by Yom Tov, because the Rabbanon were afraid that people are going to mezalzel on Yom Tov because there's more halachas that are mekel. You're allowed to cook food. Ochel nefesh is mutter. They were more machmir by muksa by Yom Tov. I think that's important. But let me explain how it comes about, because the idea of achilas muksa, which I mentioned is daraisa, which we talked about in the beginning of Masechas Beitzah, it's daraisa, is really only on Yom Tov that achilas muksa is daraisa. Why is achilas muksa daraisa on Yom Tov? Because achilas muksa, you're allowed to ochel nefesh is mutter on Yom Tov. So, right, most of the time things are not muksa on Yontif. So therefore the Torah, when it says muksa, the concept hachana derabba, which is where we learn muksa from, not Beitzah and Masechas Beitzah, hachana derabba, which tells you muksa daraisa, Rashi there says muksa is daraisa, to eat it, not to metatal it. That's by Yontif specifically, because on Yontif you have to prepare it, because Yontif you allowed for ochel nefesh, you have to know about it, the fish, so I can kill it and fillet it and eat it, or an animal that I can know that I'm going to take the animal, or the bird that I'm going to know I'm going to shecht it on Yontif. So therefore, there's more of a kpeda by the Torah, by Muchan, that it should be ready for Muksa on Yontif. There's more of a concern of Muksa on Yontif, because Achilas Muksa is Daraisa only on Yontif. This is not a big chiddush, I'm saying. Only on Yontif. Because it's a concept of Ochel Nefesh. We're worried about eating it. The Torah was worried about eating it. So it made Doraisa. However, and therefore, when we say tiltal mukta, which is only derabanan, it's a gzeira, you might come to eat it, but the tiltal derabanan is part, the Rabbanan made a takana, called the tikkun Rabbanan Kain Doraisa tikkun, right? They made that, not like Shabbos, I said, the reason you can't be metaltal things on Shabbos is because you might come to do Hotzah. That's by Shabbos. That's a gzeira. A gzeira, isn't it? We don't say by gzeira, called the tikkun Rabbanan Kain Doraisa tikkun, because the Rabbanan does not resemble the Doraisa. The Rabbanan is don't move it. Hotzah to take something out of my house. They're not similar to each other. Gzeira, I might come to take it out. We don't say call the tikkun Rabbanan Kain Doraisa tikkun. But when it comes to tiltul mukta and Yontiv, there it's part of the achila, because when I eat something, the way to get it into my mouth, I usually have to pick it up to put in my mouth. That's part of the Yisur Doraisa. Now it's not Doraisa. Only achilas mukta is Doraisa. However, the tiltul mukta is part of the Rabbanan, and we say it's a takana call the tikkun Rabbanan Kain Doraisa tikkun. It's a shvus. A shvus is stronger than a gzeira or takan. It's a shvus that we say abstain from moving it because it's part of the doraisa. It's not a gzeira you might come to do something else. It's actually part of the doraisa. It's part of the achila. The Rabbanan were machmir on that with the degree of a doraisa. So therefore, even though normally something around the kula, that's only by gzeiros and takanas we say around the kula. But when it's part of the doraisa, just like doraisa, something doraisa the chumra, called tikkun Rabbanan Kain Doraisa tikkun, they were machmir safek muchan. On Yontiv is there a bun. However, Shabbos, where it comes to muksa, and it's only a gzeira, don't move it on Shabbos, because achila there is really only the rabbanan, because you're not going to really eat things on Shabbos that are not prepared. There's no heter of ochel nefesh over there. So the whole gzeira of tiltul muksa there is a gzeira atu hotzah, which has nothing to do with achila, and there we would say savik on the kula, even though by Yontiv we would say savik the rabbanan l'chumra regarding this halacha. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.